What steps can someone take to recession proof their career, or said a different way, create job security? What are some things that someone can do?
Oh, absolutely. So, number one is expanding your skill set. All right. So, first, identifying what are the most critical skills that are needed in the line of work that I am in, and not just to do the job that you're in, but we always want to be thinking about what is the next level up, right? So, if you are thinking about career advancement, you don't want to just master the job that you're in. That's not enough. You want to start mastering the next level job and demonstrating that you can do that job before you get in it. So think about what is the next level up job in my career that I might be interested in, even if it's not immediate, even if it's 6 months or a year down the road. And what are the skills that I might need to obtain that? And how can I get those skills right now before I'm in that position? Because if you can get the skills now for that next level job, you've already positioned yourself for it. So I think being proactive in that sense, in terms of, all right, how can I improve the skills for the job that I'm in now? And what new skills can I obtain to advance my career to that next level? Or maybe it's not career advancement. Maybe you are interested in pivoting to a different industry and making a lateral move. Well, what are the skills that you need for that industry? Okay, so think about what your next career move might be and what skills you need and how you can obtain them right now. Or is there somebody who can mentor you? Are there courses that you need to take or certification? Gaining those things now will make you more competitive for that role when the opportunity comes along. So the first thing is always expanding your skill set. And especially if you're in anything that uses any kind of technology, we all know how fast that changes. And AI is changing a lot of things. So we always want to be staying up to date with technology, but it may not always be a technology skill. It could just be even your management and your leadership skills, whatever you might need. So expanding your skill set is number one. And then you're hearing me say this a lot throughout the whole interview. Expanding your network is one of the best things that you can do to recession proof your career. Having connections is so valuable because at the end of the day, people still get people jobs. I know we have job boards and they do play a role, absolutely. But behind that job board is a person still. And somebody's going to interview you and talk to you if you're going to make it all the way to getting that job. So relationships are still key. They haven't gone away. People are still behind the technology of hiring. So remember that and don't think that, just applying on job boards is enough. That's only one strategy. You still want to have relationships and have those play a role in generating job leads for you. So always be expanding your skills and always be expanding your network. And even just those two things go a long way to increasing your employability, both in the short and the long term.
So it sounds like someone needs to have a career strategy, something that where they planned out, and it sounds crazy. And I remember when I first started, someone told me, plan out the next 20 years. Just, literally plan out the next 20 years, because at that, let's say 3 to 5 year point when you're expecting a promotion, if it doesn't show up, it's time to move to a different company. As well as you talked about several times, is that creating those skills you need for that next level. If you don't know what that next level is, you don't know what skills you need.
Right.
So one thing when you were talking about, I thought about, how do I find this kind of information? What are some resources available to me at my fingertips that I can look to find out what is my next level and what do I need to do to get to that next level? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways. So one, I at the most basic level, I would go if you know what the job is, but you don't that you might be interested in, but you don't know what skills you need. First, go find a couple of job descriptions online from anywhere. They don't even have to be local, that are just representative of what you think you might like to achieve, and grab a couple of them, not just one. You want a sample of maybe at least 3 or 4, and look for themes. So these are the dominant themes and then the keywords and skills that I'm seeing over and over again when I do a survey of these job descriptions. So that's the most basic thing. Another thing you can do is there are a lot of online resources and websites that help you do research on career paths. And ONET is one of them, and O stands for occupation. So if you just search ONET, it's from the Department of Labor, it'll come right up. There's a lot of great information there about nearly every career path. There's a database of careers and all the skills that you need, a typical day in the life, all the things, what a training is required. There's a wealth of information that you can get there as well. And then the last thing you can do is talk to your network. Is there somebody that you know that's in that next level position that you want, or working in that industry that you are interested in? Why don't you ask them? Why don't you do an informational interview and ask them, what are the most critical skills needed? If I wanted to make a transition from here to here, what would you recommend? What should I focus on? Somebody who's in that career or in that position is that's the best source of information. So I would say a combination of talking to people and doing some informational interviews, but also seeing what you can find online through some websites and also job boards and sample job descriptions.
Yeah, I grabbed the URL real
Oh, you
quick.
got
And I
it.
put
Oh,
it
yeah,
on the,
yeah. I think it is .org. Yeah.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. Yeah, it's got find occupations and all kinds of good things that
Yeah.
people can find career resources. Plus, scm.jobs is a great career resource for those in the supply
Yes.
chain career field. One thing you keep bringing up is networking people and talking to people. And with the pandemic and social media like LinkedIn, it makes it very easy for someone to be very active without being very productive. We talked about
Yeah.
this before. So when we talk about networking, I hear that we need to get face to face with people. What are some ways people can get face to face and start to expand their network? What are some thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the first thing I would recommend is, especially if this is a new skill for you and you're not used to networking in a real structured way, start small. So go through your contacts, go through, LinkedIn, phone, email contacts, and pick, it can be a small number, maybe just 5 people that you know, and start with them and just reach out and do a virtual meeting, or if you can meet with them in person, that's even better, and just catch up for coffee. Just kind of exercise that muscle of, getting in touch with people, finding out how you can help them, what's going on with them, and then sharing your career story, your goals, where are you at. Let it organically come in to the conversation. We don't have to do it in such a way where it's overly formal and structured and asking for a job. Just start having coffee dates with people, or having Zoom calls with people. And it's more fun, and it also is just more comfortable for everybody. And you can weave your career situation into that conversation when they say, what's going on with you? How are you?
Right.
Well, I'm actually in a job search right now. It's kind of what I'm going through a transition, and just let it come up in the conversation. I think
I think
that's
it's
the best
great.
thing I would do. Yeah,
Right.
just start small and reach
Yeah.
out to a handful of people and go from there.
And don't make it complicated. You have if you're in a church, you have your local church or any other organizations, your kids teams. If you have kids involved in sports and that kind of stuff, their school, PTA, all
Yeah.
those different organizations where you're actually talking to people, just start to make that connection as personable as it can be.
Yeah.
And people can't help you if they don't know you need help. They can't find a job for you if they don't know you want or need a job. So
Oh,
those
I
are
say
all
that's
great
perfect.
tips.
I say that to clients all the time. More people would help you. You'd be surprised if they knew that you needed help, or if they knew that you were looking. But if they don't know you're
Right.
looking, they're not going to think of you when that opportunity comes up. It just makes sense. They're going to think you're fine. You already have a job.
Yeah. They're not thinking of you, right?
Yeah.
You got to let people know. You got to let people